Good morning, family and friends. Welcome back to another Daily Scuttlebutt with Ivy's Family Factotum. It's Friday. It's Friday. But if you want to look around, you got some yuckiness. Nah. So we got weather coming in. Last night it actually started, or yesterday evening is when it started. Pretty shortly after we got home from the property, because we're out there, and you'll see that with the video coming out today. Gladys got her way, but that's fine. It was one of those invisible coin flips, and she won type deals. But that's okay, because we got stuff done that needed to be done, even if it was only a little bit. Which, well, not necessarily a little. It's just of what we did. There's a lot to do, and we only got 1 out of 5 knocked out. But it's going to be one of those things that's ever growing and ever needing to be done. So that's okay. But I do, so I tell you the thing that I lost out on, I need to get done before I move all my blacksmith stuff over. Blacksmith stuff, because I'm trying to put it into that little shop, that little metal building that's going to be temporary, because eventually that building is going to come down. You know, the little concrete slab that's there is all going to get tore up, because we are not going to leave that where it's at, because it'd be kind of an eyesore to where the house and the garage and all that stuff's going to be. But that's okay. Okie dokies. And gas is going back up. That's not cool, because until we get, electricity going, if we move the RV to the property and need power, we're going to have to use a generator. And I don't like seeing the gas prices go up. So, not cool. Not cool at all. At all neither. Hopefully it's not too loud because I got the window open, because it's warm. It is actually downright humid today. So even though this cold front's coming through, pushing all this weather through here, it is hot. Hot. And I don't know if you saw that white truck that just went by, but that truck either runs off of hydrogen or propane, because it has the 2 big tanks in the back of it, and the thing is like super quiet. Like you cannot hear the engine running in that thing. And I know it's not electric. It's some other type of fossil fuel, but it's kind of crazy. I've seen it around a few times, but I don't know who it is. Oh, man. Drinking my coffee. Don't got a whole lot to do. This is one of our shirts that we had previously. I think only four of these sold. I was one of them. I think my mom was one of the others. I know Jason Crocker actually bought one of these shirts from the Crockers. But this was it was one of those limited time only shirts to go in and get one. And out of subscribers, I think I want to say he was the only one that actually went and bought one. So, yeah, we do have, a bonfire store. You can go check out. We have a lot of stuff in there. Well, not a lot of stuff, but enough. It would definitely help us, with some of these financial burdens we got going. The Jeep waiting on parts for that. So I don't know. Did I say yesterday what I was missing? So the track bar in the front, the the bolt, because it has a bolt and a nut, right? So one side of the track bar has a bolt that goes through, and then the nut, it has kind of like a wedge piece that comes off of it that kind of locks it into a certain spot. It doesn't allow it to move up or down. It's basically a wedge, right? Well, that one is okay, but on the other side, the nut had came off of that track bar bolt. Now, yes, I did take that off to get access to change out the housing cover for the differential. And whenever I put that back in, I did tighten it down a lot, but that's before I bought that big torque wrench that I had to get. And then by the time that I bought the torque wrench, I forgot to go back in and re-torque that. So more than likely my fault. I will take blame on that because I did not torque that down to specification, it had loosened off and the nut had fell off. So it was allowing that track bar. The bolt never came out, only the nut came off. So, but it still allows it to move, like a little bit like that. But just that little bit of movement is going to allow the tires to move. So she was not able to get it over 40 miles per hour, because the thing with like the steering stabilizer and everything that's on those Jeeps, you don't absolutely need to have that. That is there, that it kind of takes up the slack of other stuff, but it will also kind of hinder you knowing what is physically wrong with your vehicle by having that, because it dampens some of those issues, right? So the steering stabilizer, and that's where the little shock and stuff is. So if you were to take that off completely, you're able to move other stuff around and check it, right? So the vehicle would drive okay without that, technically. So I am not going to take off the steering stabilizer, just so you guys know. But yes, that if you're having issues with death wobble or whatnot in a Jeep, and you need to figure out what is wrong, start off by taking off your steering stabilizer, and then start going through, seeing if other pieces and parts move as such. But yeah, track bar bolt is actually the number one, right? So the track bar is actually the number one cause of death wobble. And then it comes down to like your hubs being bad. Then it comes down to like ball joints, upper ball joint, lower ball joint, which all those things are like super easy to check, right? Because ball joints, if they have any movement whatsoever, to where you can, if you jack up your vehicle and you take your tire, right, at the different, you can even go, the 9 and 3, whatever, try to shake your tire, go to 12 and 6 and try to shake your tire. If there's any type of movement other than just the general steering, ball joint is bad, and they would need to be replaced. The ball joints on the Jeep, upper, lower, they are not bad at all. So I had zero movement in those things. And then, the track bar, it should not move at all. Because it's one of those, because it keeps the alignment of your axle underneath your vehicle from basically left to right. It's not allowing it to move. So that track bar should not move. And then steering stabilizer, right? So a lot of those things, they have like little, what is it called? Like the bushings and stuff that they sit in, right? Whenever you hold it, like it will twist. It's going to move that way, but it shouldn't have any movement up and down, or left to right type thing. But it is going to twist there. So sometimes people will get, underneath, if you don't really know, which a lot of this stuff, I am learning. I have known a little bit, but I am still kind of learning that whenever you go in there, you start moving stuff, you're like, hey, this moves. I don't think this is supposed to move. Well, yeah, it does move like that, but it's not supposed to move up and down or left and right. So, yeah. But anyway, I ordered a new... Well, I did check all the part stores here locally. No one actually carried those parts in-house. They always said... They told me that we can order it and get it overnighted, or we can order it and have it here in like a week, or blah 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 blah. And it was going to be twice as much as what I could order it online and have it shipped to me in 5 days. So I went home and I ordered it online, through a Jeep website, a Jeep type website, and yeah, it should be here. It ships out. The parts shipped today, so I ordered it yesterday. Day before yesterday, right? Day before yesterday, yeah. And then they ship today, and then they'll be here roughly 3 days. So, altogether, from the time I ordered it until I receive it, it told me, roughly it was 5 to 8 days or something like that. So, good stuff. So, and then, like I said, once I get that back together, if for whatever reason it's still doing the things that it's doing, at that point is when I'll reach out to Drew, which I've already talked about that. He'll reach out to his friend. We'll get it fixed, because Mama wants her Jeep back. Her Gladys, that's her baby. Do you know that she actually got that truck, or she got that Jeep right off the truck? It didn't even go to the parking lot. So the Jeep, like, it still had stickers on it. It still had, because whenever a vehicle comes into a dealership, right, they have to still do stuff to the vehicle to make it ready before it can be sold, right? Before people are supposed to be test driving it or anything like that, because it's not counting mileage. It's not, there's some of the different things that they need to do to the vehicle, to make it ready. Well, that Jeep came straight off the truck into the street. Gladys and the dealer got into it with everything still on it and took it for a test drive. And she bought it. And then, so whenever she left that dealership with that vehicle, it was 0 miles on it. 0. Across the board, 0. Because they still had to go through and they had to turn stuff on, and they had to do that. So as she was doing the paperwork, they were getting it ready, taking the stickers off of it, the protective film for in transit. They're having to go through and set the codes and all that stuff for the computer, to that way it'll start doing all those things that it needs to do. Well, I don't know if that dealer got in trouble, but he definitely did something he was not supposed to do. So, Yeah, that's why she loves that thing, and it's one of those that she didn't buy it from the dealer or dealership parking lot. It came straight off the truck. So, and she still got mad at me because I really wish I would have kept my Jeep because I needed a truck, and I was being impatient, and I ended up selling because hers is a 2015. I bought a 2016 that the dealership messed up on mine, and ended up the Jeep that I bought had to be transferred up from North Carolina, and the Jeep that I bought they sold to somebody else, and then kept lying to my dealer, stating that they're getting it ready, they're shipping it out, blah 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 blah. Well, they ended up selling it to somebody else. So instead of me getting my Jeep, the dealership where I was at ended up telling me that I could pick between 3 different Jeeps that I would get for the same price. So I was getting a 2-door Jeep that was like the greenish in color, and it was just a standard, right? There was nothing. I think it's like a sport. I think there's nothing fancy about it, and that's what I was getting. And so the price of those is very, very low. Well, they ended up giving me, the dealership ended up giving me the JK, which is the 4-door, and it was a 4-door Rubicon. Was it the Rubicon? Yeah, it was a Rubicon. So it was basically the top of the line. No, it wasn't a Rubicon. I think it might have just been no. I don't remember now. I think it was a Rubicon. But anyway, it was a 2016, right? So I got that for the same price. They gave it to me for the same price that I was buying my other Jeep. So they lost money, and it ended up being cheaper than what Gladys bought hers for. So I think it was a Rubicon because, like, I do remember them being kind of the same. Just mine was red, hers is black, right? So, but it was a year newer than hers, and I ended up paying, I don't know, it was a good $10,000 less than what she did. So she was so mad at that. And then I ended up trading it in for that F250. It just gave me nothing but issues. So, yep. C'est la vie. That's how life rolls sometimes, I guess. But, yep, that dealership really screwed me. It was a used dealership, and it was one of those janky places that you probably shouldn't be shopping at, but I did anyway because I was impatient. I wanted a truck. That's the only one I could find within my price range was trading in the Jeep. So, yep, those things happen. But, all right, y'all. Well, I'm approaching my time limit here, so I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. Like I said, my phone cuts off at 19, so I'm not trying to go over that. But I definitely appreciate you guys for following the journey. Check us out. Check out the links we have down in the descriptions. It's always greatly appreciated. And remember, always thank a veteran at every chance you get, not only on Veterans Day. And have a great weekend. We'll see you on the next one. Later, y'all.